Now, Sarah, you're a stamper, and we've got stamps this time.
I can hardly wait because, of course, I'm a stamper, and of course, I'm always after the very newest designs.
And that's what you're going to find. Blossom swirls and words all ready for you.
Okay, let's take a look.
Well, here's what the packages look like.
Right.
And so we're going to focus first on the sweet blossoms and swirls.
Okay.
Then we'll get into the tiny words. But before you move them, I just want to turn them over. Now, I am not a stamper, so I appreciate any help I can get.
Oh, Paulette, I am a stamper. I appreciate any help I can get. It's so nice to see the card examples on here, and then also all of the tips on how to use the stamps, because they're clear acrylic stamps.
Right.
So some people may not have used them yet.
Or be unsure.
Right, exactly. So I'll move this one over if you want to bring in the first project.
Okay, we're going to start with some simple stamping. And this is our Sarah Surface little purse.
Isn't that cute?
And isn't this sweet? So what's gone on is that the stamp has just been done on using brown ink directly on the paper. Now, it was stamped on the paper before the paper was put on the purse.
Really?
Yeah, that way it just is, you can position it and so forth.
You know, actually, I think I might do it the opposite way.
Would you?
Yeah,
Okay.
I think I would cover that flap first, because the clear acrylic stamp is clear.
You can position
it exactly the way you want it to go.
These little flowers are also part of the set, but they've just been done separately and put on with foam tape.
Yeah, and I love this. This
sweet?
is a simple shape to cut out too, so you can just pop that out, put it up on your foam tape, and you're good to go.
So we're getting stamping and cutting together.
Exactly. I'll take this one away.
Now, sometimes I think, again, non-stampers maybe aren't sure how they could use them in scrapbooking.
Exactly, but you can. And take a look at this gorgeous album page.
Isn't this great?
Let's look at this overall border here, and this is the circular border. Now, they are clear stamps, which makes them easy to place, but I don't know that I could do that freehand.
Well, speaking of clear.
Okay.
Okay, here is the Easy Circles template.
Hooray!
So if you put it on here and then made some dots with your pencil, that's going to give you the circle.
Okay.
Lift it off, and then you've got your placement for your stamping.
Right, and then you just erase those pencil lines later, and you're set to go. And these have been colored.
Let's get in close so we can see what's going on here. And all over the circle, but also in these blocks.
Pretty.
And they've just been colored in with colored pencils. And we have a set of 12.
Right. Now, you've said before that using chalks make you feel like an artist.
Yeah.
Using colored pencils makes me feel like an artist for some reason, too. It's that same type of thing. They're so easy to use, and they give you a fantastic look. It's one of the most versatile tools that I've got.
So it's just as you would think, just coloring it in, and you can mix your colors also a little bit, and it gives you the precision. So here we have, and that circle can go off the, kind of along the edge.
Sure.
And you can see that she's just very simply colored them in.
Right, and she's incorporated both the flowers and the swirls up along here too. So she's alternated those.
Okay.
Love that.
That makes a very nice look, doesn't it?
Yeah, it really does.
And you have something else?
I do. In fact, let me bring in this card if you want to scoot that away. Here's a card that is using the blossoms. This is an entire image right here, the blossoms, and then the swirls going on either side of this border.
Isn't that striking?
But they have been colored in with white.
Okay. So, you're gonna, okay.
Yeah, so.
You're going to do that.
Absolutely. Let me bring this in, and you can see I've already got the image stamped on here onto my green background paper. Let me get this position.
And that's on black.
That's black stays on. And then I've got a white opaque marker. And this is an Essentials, see if I can say that correctly. And we've got these in Paper Wishes.
We do.
This is a fantastic opaque marker because it has a really nice fine tip.
Yes, and it's a pen.
Yeah,
Right, so,
yeah,
okay.
exactly. Now, what I always like to do before I use these types of pens is just test them out, get the ink going on some portion of the scrap paper. So I wouldn't do it in the middle of my paper, but for the sake of argument, I am here.
Okay.
And then I'm just going to go right in here, and don't worry about, you know, being exactly precise up to the lines, because you want some of the black area to show. So can you see that already coming out?
You know, that's very striking.
It is, and it's so easy. It's just, you know, it's just the white pen. It's just that easy. Go around and do the outside edge. And if you want to bring the card back in.
Let's go back to this.
She has also done the open areas of the swirl.
Oh, I'm sorry.
If we can see this here, which I wouldn't think you'd color in a swirl.
I wouldn't either.
So I'm really excited about
that.
She's
written happy birthday. Let's go back so we can, you know, we like to show the inside. So various layers. This looks like it's out of the floral paper book. And then inside, and this card was cut down to a 5x5.
Okay.
So, and I like the little corner treatment of the same stamp.
Yeah, because you can stamp to have it go off the paper if you want to. You don't have to have the entire image in there. Here's another card. Now this has been stamped and heat embossed.
Yes.
And we're not going to demonstrate the heat embossing because we've done this in 2 previous segments.
Probably one called embossing.
One is called embossing and the other one is called our secret weapon. So we show you all of the details of heat embossing.
In this one, there are brads for the centers of the flowers.
Right.
That's very nice.
Right. And she's embossed this with green and then cut and matted her papers and then inserted those brads so they're not quite so lumpy.
That's neat. And then inside, she's done it on a tag, and the tags are part of the Card Maker's Creative Packs, which is where that comes from.
Nicely sized. I've got another of the Sarah Surfaces purses. This again has been stamped onto the flap. It has also been heat embossed with a blue embossing powder.
Okay.
And then the surprise here is that this has been colored in with colored pencil.
On a slick surface.
On a slick surface, which you wouldn't think that would work.
Right.
But it does. It will give you a very soft, very subtle effect, but it still shows up.
You know, I also like just the pastel look of those pencils there. And all it is just a little touch in the leaves. I mean, you're not doing a tremendous amount of, you're not doing the Sistine Chapel here.
Exactly. No, you're not. And the other nice thing about this is that these stamp and emboss so nicely. Sometimes with fine, delicate stamps, you're not so sure how they're going to look once they're heat embossed. But obviously these work brilliantly.
And this is very detailed, beautiful.
Isn't it gorgeous?
There are 59 stamps on this sheet.
That is an amazing assortment.
It really is. Let's get in close. They are called Tiny Words and Images. And the idea is that there are phrases and images that will work with them. So
and the images can be interchangeable too. So you can use there's a little dragonfly here. You could use that with, you know, It's Your Day, or you could use it with Miss You. I mean, you've got some different combinations you can do.
So it just opens up lots and lots of possibilities. Now, being this small, I would kind of think of card making.
I thought of card making. Well, of course I did. Automatically. But we're going to see it for scrapbooking too. And it really looks nice.
Well, let's start with a card. And what I love about what's been done here is it really does feature the smallness of them.
Yeah.
So let's go first up to the flower. And there's a great big brad in the center and just a little stamped flower.
Right. And you can use a StazOn ink pad to get on the metal, to stamp on the metal. That's going to work. Don't use a pigment ink because it will never ever dry.
Sort of a curse.
Yeah.
Now I love the 2 little windows that have been cut in the front of this card, and then as I open it, you've got You're the Best.
Right.
So this is kind of a thinking of you, could be
Miss You, could be all kinds of things.
Could be birthday too.
Now the enjoy is also one of the words on the set. One other thing I like is that the butterfly is going this way and the dragonfly is flying that way. So it really creates some nice movement on the card.
Okay, now a scrapbook page.
Right.
This is a surprise.
Let's bring this in here. We can get an all over look at it, but then we can get in close, and maybe we can get in close right here in this caption, because the small words and images work perfectly for photo captions.
Yes, I can see that.
This is a graduation page, so we've got great
Even
job.
Closer, I think.
And celebrate. I think this looks really nice. And then down below, we've got this cute little graduation cap that can go right next to it.
That's nice. Oh, over in that
over here.
Tag, it says good luck.
Now these art pieces are all in the art book that comes with the paper, so that's all coordinated for you.
Makes that easy. We've got another little label up here with congratulations. So that's really quite a few things, being able to, you know, journal with stamps on the page.
Exactly.
Okay, I'm a believer now.
I know. We're turning you into a stamper, Paulette. Now I've got another little Sarah's Surface, and this is the coin envelope. And this is using several of the words together, and then one of the little images, so you can see how well they coordinate.
Now the way I would think about this is that because they're so small, and I don't know if we can get any closer on this, but you